Hello everyone, welcome back to Learning Made Easy with Deepthi Ritesh. So in my previous video, I have discussed about multiplication of two complex numbers. So in this video, let us see the properties of multiplication of complex numbers. Okay. Similar to addition and difference, so we have some properties related to multiplication of complex number. So let us go through that. So the first property is the closure law. Let me write the definition for that. So the closure law says that the product of two complex numbers is a complex number. So we have seen two examples in the previous video for the multiplication of complex number. There we have seen that the product, what we are getting at the end, that is the result of multiplication, is also a complex number. So I can generalize the statement as if Z1 and Z2 are two complex numbers, then the product which is Z1 Z2 is also a complex number. Is also a complex number. So in previous examples, we have seen the resultant is in the form of a plus ib. We are getting the final answer in this format. Okay. If suppose we get final answer only in the format of real numbers, then also the statement is true. Why? Because we initially itself we have discussed that real number is a subset of complex number. So after multiplication of complex number, if the resultant is a real number, then also it is a complex number itself. Why? Because real number is a subset of complex number. So the property holds good for that also. And if suppose at the end you are getting only imaginary part, say for example you are getting, this is just for an example, say the final answer Z1 and Z2, you are getting it as minus 2i. This is according to the property, so no problem, we are getting only imaginary part, where we can express this imaginary part, only imaginary part, in the format of a plus ib. That is nothing but we can write it as 0 minus 2i. So this is also in the format of a plus ib. So this is also a complex number. So the according to the property of multiplication, the closure law says that the product of two complex number is always a complex number. Okay. So this is the first property. So let us see the second property. So the second property says, which is nothing but the commutative property or commutative law. According to that, it says, for any two complex numbers Z1 and Z2, we can write the product as Z1 into Z2, or we can also write Z2 into Z1. Either you write Z1 into Z2 or you write Z2 into Z1, the answer will be same. Okay. So this is nothing but commutative law. So you take, for example, Z1 as 2 minus I and Z2 as I. Okay. So now you multiply Z1 and Z2. So what is the answer you're getting? So it is 2 minus I into I. Okay. So you'll be getting 2I minus I square. Okay. So what is this? It is I square is minus 1. So minus of minus 1 gives you plus 1. So I can write 1 plus 2I as the answer. Okay. Now you calculate what is Z2 into Z1. Z2 into Z1 is I into 2 minus I. Okay. Now you check the answer. So it is 2I minus I square. So you'll be getting 2I minus of minus 1. It is plus 1. So it is 1 plus 2I. Both the ways you are getting same answer. So this is nothing but commutative law. So for any two complex numbers Z1 and Z2, The product, either you can write it as Z1 into Z2, or you can write the product as Z2 into Z1. So this is about the commutative law. Let us see the third law, which is nothing but associative law. So according to associative law, you take any three complex numbers, Z1, Z2 and Z3, then you calculate the product. So you can write Z1 into Z2 and then you can multiply it with Z3, or you can write Z1 into Z2 into Z3. Okay, this says you that, or this tells you that the association, that is grouping, can be done in any way. The product will be still the same. Okay, so you either multiply Z1 and Z2 first, then multiply it with Z3, or you multiply Z2 and Z3 first, then you multiply it with Z1. The answer will be same. So this is about associative law. I'm not going to write the example here. So you can take any value for Z1, Z2 and Z3, which are nothing but three complex numbers. And then you can check it. Checking can be done either grouping Z1, Z2, or you can group Z1 and Z3 first. Grouping is nothing but multiplying. So Z1 and Z2 first you can multiply, then you can multiply it with Z3, or you can group some other numbers and then you can multiply with the remaining number. Still the answer will be same. So this is about associative law. Next law is the existence of multiplicative identity. So let us see what is that. So what is this existence of multiplicative identity? See, similar property we have seen in complex number addition also. So there we had seen that there exists a additive identity which is represented by 0, and when you add that additive identity to the complex number, you will get the same complex number. Similarly, here we have a multiplicative identity. So according to the statement, it says that for every complex number in the set, you have a complex number, or there exists a complex number which is 1 plus I0, or simply we can denote it as 1. Okay, and it is known as multiplicative identity, and such that it gives us Z into 1 is equal to Z. So you take any complex number, and you multiply it with what? Any complex number you take and you multiply it with multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity. What you are getting as the resultant? The result will be the same complex number which we have multiplied. Okay, same complex number. Okay, so that's what here it is written. You write Z and you multiply it with the multiplicative identity, you will be getting the same answer, which is nothing but Z. So this is the property known as existence of multiplicative identity. So remember, when you multiply any number with multiplicative identity which is represented by 1, you will get the same complex number. And in additive identity we have seen the Z, that is nothing but any complex number, plus what is additive identity? Additive identity is 0, remember, and you get the same result. So this is for additive identity. Additive identity. This we have discussed while discussing properties of addition, complex number addition. So 0 is additive identity and 1 is multiplicative identity. And 1 can be represented as 1 plus I0. Okay, so this is also same. Okay, yeah. So this is about a multiplicative identity. And the fifth property is the existence of multiplicative inverse. So let us see what is that. So according to the statement of the existence of multiplicative inverse, for every non-zero complex number, what is non-zero complex number? The Z is having A plus IB format, and where A is not equal to 0 and B is also not equal to 0. That says that we will be having real part and imaginary part in the number. So for every non-zero complex number, we can define a complex number which is nothing but a by a square plus b square plus I into minus b by a square plus b square, and this number which is given by this expression, okay, this number can be represented by z inverse, which is written like this, z inverse, okay, like this we can write, or we can write it as like this, 1 by z, called the multiplicative inverse of z, and it should satisfy a condition that z into 1 by z is equal to 1, or I can say for every complex number z, okay, we have z into z inverse is equal to 1. So z, the complex number, into the multiplicative inverse of the same complex number gives us 1. Now how to calculate multiplicative inverse? So multiplicative inverse, which can be represented like this, or we can represent it like this. This can be calculated as a by a square plus b square plus I into minus b divided by a square plus b square. So this gives us the multiplicative inverse of the complex number. Similar way, we have additive inverse of the complex number. We have seen additive inverse is also known as negative of the complex number. How did we calculate negative of the complex number? So negative of the complex number we have calculated just by changing the sign of real part and imaginary part. Okay, so this is multiplicative inverse. So multiplicative inverse can be calculated using this expression. Again, I'll repeat, the multiplicative inverse z inverse is a by a square plus b square plus I into minus b divided by a square plus b square. So this is the expression. You need to remember this expression for calculating multiplicative inverse of the given complex number. So let me take one example for this. So let us take a z as, in the definition itself it is given it should be a non-zero complex number. So let me take 2 minus I. Now how to calculate z inverse? Z inverse can be calculated by a by a square plus b square. What is a? A is 2. So 2 by a square, that is 2 square, plus b square. What is b square? B square is minus 1. See, remember, always express the given complex number in a plus bi format. So here given as z is equal to 2 minus I. How to represent it in this format? So it is 2 plus minus 1 into I. Okay, so a value is 2, b value is minus 1. So here it is minus 1 square plus I into minus b. So minus b value is minus 1. So again it is minus 1. Okay, divided by a square, that is 2 square plus minus 1 square. So what you'll be getting? You'll be getting 2 divided by 2 square is 4 plus minus 1 square is 1. So you'll be getting 5 minus, not minus, plus I, minus of minus gives us plus 1 into I is I divided by 5 again. So you can write it as 2 plus I by 5. Okay, so you can use this expression, or you can simply write it as, see, whatever z we have, for that z inverse will be 2 plus I. See, here you have 2 minus I. So you need to just change the sign of imaginary part. That gives us 2 minus I, 2 plus I, sorry, 2 plus I, and divide by a square plus b square. Okay, correct? So the inverse, z inverse, I can write it directly as 2. Change the sign of imaginary part, which is nothing but plus here. If there is plus, then you have to write it as minus here. Only the imaginary part. Okay. Then the denominator will be square of real part, which is nothing but 4, plus square of imaginary part, which is nothing but minus 1 square is 1. So it gives us 5. So this is Z inverse. Okay. So this is Z inverse. So this property is known as the multiplicative inverse property. So let us see the last property of multiplication of complex number, which is nothing but the distributive law. So according to the distributive law, for any three complex numbers, Z1, Z2, Z3, we can write first result as Z1 into Z2 plus Z3, which can be written it as Z1, Z2 plus Z1, Z3. Or second result we can write Z1 plus Z2 into Z3 can be written as Z1, Z3 plus Z2, Z3. So this is known as a distributive law. So you can write the proof by your own. How to write the proof? So you take three different complex numbers Z1, Z2 and Z3. Then you take LHS side. For the first result we have LHS side as this. So Z1 into Z2 plus Z3. Then you calculate. So first you calculate Z2 plus Z3. Then the result of this you multiply it with Z1. So you'll be getting the answer and you verify it with the RHS side, which is nothing but Z1, Z2 plus Z1, Z3. Similar way you can check the second result also. So this need to be remembered. So this is the distributive law of complex number. So I hope all the 6 properties are clear. So you need to remember all the properties of multiplication of complex numbers. And if any doubt, in case if you have any doubts, you can write in the comment box. Let me know the doubts. So I'll try to clear it. Okay. So that's it for today. So do subscribe to my channel, share the videos and comment. Okay. Thank you.